Welcome to the History and Civics class. Today I'll be starting the chapter The Indus Valley Civilization. Chapter 3. In this chapter, we will basically focus on these points: origin, social life, family and community life, town planning, occupation, trade, art and architecture, religious beliefs, and the decline of the civilization. First of all, I would like you to explain Good morning everyone. Welcome to History and Civics class. Today I'll be starting the chapter The Indus Valley Civilization, which is chapter 3 in your book. In this chapter we will basically focus on the origin, social, family and community life, town planning, occupation, trade, art and architecture, religious beliefs and the decline of the civilization. First of all, I would like to explain what is civilization. Civilization means how ancient man has progressed and has reached a civilized life. How we have already seen how the life of early man was. They were nomads, they were food gatherers. Slowly and gradually, with the discovery of fire, discovery of wheel, their life changed. They started doing agriculture. They started having a settled life. They started settling beside the river banks. Why? Because of the availability of water. So this is how time changed and they grew. They started living a civilized life. So from primitive state they progressed towards, or they stepped towards, an advanced stage of development. And they developed in various spheres, such as their society developed, their culture developed, there was development in the politics. So civilization was a gradual change from ancient to the advanced stage in the life of man. Next, these civilization, they took place beside the river. Why? Because water is the important source or important element in life. During various stages, various civilization flourished. So the first civilization, or the ancient of all civilization, are called River Valley Civilization. Rivers served as a constant source of water. Why? Because water was helpful in agriculture. The soil on the banks of the river were highly fertile, which promoted agriculture. Beside the rivers were easy mode for travel by boats and rafts, which promoted trade. Another important feature of River Valley Civilization was that they invented and used bronze, metal alloys for making tools and implements. And thus, this River Valley Civilization came to be known as Bronze Civilization, because during this civilization, people started using bronze for making tools and implements. Next, we move on to the various civilizations which flourished beside various rivers around the world. The first is the Egyptian civilization. which flourished on the bank of river Nile. Next, Mesopotamian civilization, which flourished on the bank of river Tigris and Euphrates. Third, the Indus Valley civilization, also known as Harappan civilization, which flourished on the bank of river Indus and its tributaries. And the last is the Chinese civilization beside river Yangtze and Huanghe. So I hope till here it is clear. Welcome to the History and Civics class. Today I will be starting the chapter The Indus Valley Civilization. Chapter 3. In this chapter first we will deal with Indus Valley civilization. European countries are often cited as an example of social and economic development of good urban planning. But can you imagine that around 4,500 years ago, people were living in well-planned cities and buildings in the Indus Valley civilization? Actually, we were not aware that the civilization which flourished in our own country was more advanced than the other civilization. This civilization flourished between 3300 BCE and 1800 BCE on the banks of river Indus and its tributaries. It had advanced urban culture and its social and economic systems were well developed. The Indus Valley civilization was given its name after the first discovery of its main cities on the banks of river Indus. So there were 250 sites which were discovered in the present day Pakistan and the parts of northern and western India. So first we will deal with Indus Valley civilization. European countries are often cited as an example of social and economic development of good urban planning. But can you imagine